Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, so Carter can go first if he wants to talk. We're both kind of have the same ideas. We're just kind of wondering because with the last case study, you kind of gave us a little bit more direction in terms of which areas we need to go over.
Do you find the feedback helpful for the last case?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's good. So make sure you read those marketing rubrics, right? So they help you to think, right, why this is important, why I didn't see it, right? So hopefully you would pick it up from this case, right?
Okay.
Yeah, whoever wants to go ahead. Yeah.
I think my whole what I'm afraid of with this case with my group is if we don't hit the right issues. And where I'm afraid with that is if we just don't actually bring up the right points, if we're
Okay.
just gonna bomb the case,
Okay.
based upon that. So I just want to know like if we're on the right track with the issues that we see.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's exactly I want to help you guys with. Yeah. Um, I was quite surprised. How come in case one, if they watch the video, they missed they are off track. So quite a few groups off track because they are taking the management consultant role, right, instead of analyzing financial accounting issues. Maybe you guys can help me understand. Because if you watched my video, how come some students missed that direction?
I think, oh yeah, go for it.
Go ahead, yeah.
This was like for us, like, or for me, I guess it was like the first case that I had to take that perspective. Every other case that I've written, I wrote one for managerial accounting and then management. So they're all based on that kind of mindset.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. So yeah, it's probably some kind of recency bias, right? Because you have been used to that approach. So that's good. I mean, yeah, at least now you understand. Right now we are financial accounting, right? It's not about management accounting. So we are just analyzing accounting issues, right? Measurement, right? Recognition, it's all this stuff, right? that's made it accounting issues. Good. So yeah. So so you guys can throw some questions to me, and I have the answer here. Okay. So the same idea, I will provide you with the marketing rubrics. Okay, and I think you guys will do much better this time because now you see what it look like, right? Okay, please go ahead. Yeah.
You can go ahead, Carter. You can list what you were kind of saying earlier.
All right. So when me and my group were discussing this already, we kind of separated and then came back with some ideas that we think that we should go forward with for like topics that we should discuss with a partner. Our topics that we chose, is it okay if I say the topics that we chose on video recording?
Well, this one, all the recorded information will be available to other students, right?
Yeah.
So, if you think people may take advantage of your information, then maybe you don't want to share.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I don't care if people take advantage. Everybody's learning.
Okay, good. So then you can.
So
yeah.
We saw that we need to focus on the revenue recognition with the billing of customers' hours and then the cost of lubricant fully expensed when a new tub was going through, and then the portion of cost of lubricants is recognized before the related revenue is recognized. And then we also saw the reliability of the measurements with the hourly measurements and the customer's self-reporting. And then it's impossible to verify the usage rates because you can't because the customers are reporting them. And then the meter accuracy, because some machines are super old and it's hourly, right? So they're saying that they can burn up a whole bunch an hour versus newer ones won't burn up a whole bunch an hour. And then we outlined is the user the partner that we're discussing too, right? That's the user we should outline.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we saw another issue is the cash being an overdraft and why that's happening. We saw the inventory. Is it overstated, understated? The turnover issues, the annual sending of inventory doesn't tell you how many machines there actually are, and only gives unused portion of the inventory when it speaks of it. That's kind of what we saw. Are we missing anything big, or are we on the right track? Or
Okay, very good. So make sure this is the case, right? First, what's the first job is about the overview, right? In the overview, you want to talk about, okay, who are the users, right? What kind of engagement is this? This is a review engagement, right? This is a review engagement.
Yeah.
Okay. So the company will, the CA company will provide the assurance opinions, right? So that means there are some risks called the engagement risk, right? So you are talking to the partner. When we take this client, there are some risks, right? Because we are have to issue opinion about the financial reporting.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure we're gonna catch all the misstatement in the financial accounting to ensure the numbers are faithfully represented, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing. And then, okay, who is gonna use this financial statement, right? Who are the users of this financial statement? Okay, because you are saying if the number is wrong, somebody is gonna be affected. Who is gonna be affected, right?
Okay.
And you're gonna assess, okay, you're gonna assess whether there's a going concern issues because this company has liquidity problems, right? You mentioned about the cash, right? So when the cash flow is issue, then there's a liquidity issues, right?
Yeah.
So does that gonna affect your going concern? So the company used the new method of revenue expenses recognition, right?
Yeah.
So then, is this correctly implemented, right? What is the most important items in this financial statement, right? So sometimes there's a lot of things going on, right? If you
Yeah.
want to do a successful case writing, you have to be able to see the major problems. For a case, there can be like 20 issues, right? 30 problems. You don't have time to do a thorough understanding on everything, but you have to grab the most important things, right? If you go to a field growing with watermelons, right? So instead of picking every watermelons, you should go for the biggest one, right? Right?
Yep.
So that's the idea. So you want to understand, okay, in this case, what is the key and the major issues? And you're going to spend enough time have a very in-depth discussion, right? And what do you think? What's the most important items from in this case?
Based upon what I see,
Yeah.
I'm seeing their cash flows being poor in overdraft, the measurement basis being unreliable, and their revenue recognition being inconsistent and incorrect. Is that on the right track, or am I missing?
The ones you mentioned are all issues, right?
Yeah.
But what's the most important one?
I'm not sure.
Mhm. So you have to go to the financial statement, see which item has the largest balance. Does that make sense?
Oh,
If you go
is
to
it the
balance sheet,
inventory?
right? You go to balance sheet, right? You see the total assets. Now, what's the most important asset? It's the inventory, right?
Yeah.
And given this case is after Chapter 6, the inventory. So the inventory is definitely a very, very important issue in this case. So definitely you can't just have a few scratches here and there, and then no, there's a lot of issues with inventories in this case. You make sure you have to spend enough time. Some of the issues involve calculations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do I know inventory is important? If I take a look at a financial statement, I notice inventory is like maybe 60-70% of the total asset. And the recognition definitely is the issue. Make sure you use the the diamond approach. So you want to identify what's the alternatives, right? And then have discussions. And then you want to recommend, right? You want to recommend what would be appropriate way to go, right?
Yeah.
And you're also going to rely on the information given to perform some basic calculations. And these calculations will tell you something, okay?
So when you speak of those basic calculations, are you talking about like inventory turnover issues that, so we calculate the turnover that they have with their, or because you spoke about inventory and then you spoke about the calculations. So I'm assuming they're going to be related.
So what happened is inventory is related to cost of goods sold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about if your inventory number messed up, your cost of goods number will messed up, right?
Oh, I see.
How can you know your cost of goods number messed up, right? So again, by the case provides some good informations. If you perform analysis, boom, you provide a very strong evidence saying that, guess what? Something's wrong with the cost of goods sold.
Okay. Is there anything else that we're like missing
And
significantly?
even there is a calculation about okay, let me see here. So basically the inventory is wrong, but you can estimate the amount of the error. So you know inventory is wrong, and you can estimate the amount of the error, and the case give you enough information to do the calculation.
Okay.
And you can calculate. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, so those are pretty much the biggest items. Okay. And then there are some other issues. Then you want to ask yourself, right? There are one customer, there are issues. Then you want to think about what might happen, how that's going to affect the financial statement, right? And this is a review engagement. If you give the wrong opinion, you are taking the risk, right? The CA company are taking the risks that they may issue the inappropriate opinion. So they want to make sure they got this number correct. They're going to make sure that they probably can understand what happened. They can maybe communicate with the client, right, on these things. Yeah, I think that's a lot of things. If you hate these things, you know, you are not missing the big potatoes. This is the big potatoes I just mentioned.
Okay, well, that really helps out a lot. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. You still have 1 week, right, to work on this.
Yeah.
So, you know, in this case, they provide you a lot of numbers. Those numbers can be used, right? The numbers is not there just for you to look at. You can use it to calculate, right? So, but you have to figure out what kind of analysis you can perform and how that's going to help you to identify the error of inventory, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. That's all I have, Zach. You can go now if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that we were still a little bit more on the consulting standpoint compared to what you were talking about. So this really helped clear up kind of the direction you needed to go.
I just want to make sure it's clear. Consulting means that you are just giving them advice, right? In terms of their operations, right? In terms of how to best use their resources, right? How to improve their efficiency, right? But now we are not a management accountant, right? We are financial accounting. This is the accounting firm, right? So it's all about accounting issues, right? Revenue recognition, right? Cost of goods sold, inventory. Are they fairly stated, right? Is there an error on this? If there's an error, can I calculate, estimate what's the amount of error? You see, it's not fluffy stuff, right? We are serious accountants. We're gonna calculate numbers. we're gonna tell people the policies, right? We are not just giving them fluffy stuffs, do this, do that, right? So
Yeah, this makes a lot more sense than it did before. So
yeah, I think this will definitely help you quite a bit. So if you didn't, talk about inventory, right? The issues around inventory. That's a lot of tips, right? Are you happy with that?
very.
Yeah, I can't speak more because I almost give out everything. So I think you have enough direction, right? Guidance.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Thanks for all your help.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, see you later.
Yeah, anyone else? All the other group members?
No, I'm good, but thank you for all the help.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, I
See
think
you.
we're good. Thank you.
Okay, good, good. Yeah.